Okay, let's get started with the independent practice. The independent practice homework was on page 151 to 152. You got to do numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and number 13. Okay, the answers are as follows. Number 2 is 115. Number 4 is 138. Number 6 is 368 thousandths. Number 8 is 122 and 1/10. The answer for number 10 is yes. And for 12, it says see the table. Let me show you what the answers are. 12. And there it is. All right. So for math, the score, you had to fill in 80%. For science, you had to put in 63 as correct. Okay. All right. And then still with 12, for part B, the answer was science, or is science, not was, still is science. And C, 48 questions. And for 13, you have to see the table again. Let me show you what the answers are. It's just easier if I show it to you. Okay, the thing about 13, again, let me just read it to you just before we move on to the notes, because really this will be part of the notes. Use the graphic organizer to compare and contrast percents and fractions. Use the phrases less than, equal to, and greater than to complete each statement. Write an example in the space provided. Okay. I'm hoping this makes sense to you. Okay. If it doesn't, please say something tomorrow during the Zoom meeting. Okay. And I'll explain it as best as possible, but you have to ask. Okay? Don't just look at it and say, oh, I get it. What I suggest you do, if you really understand the answer, another example. Think of another example. Think of another example. And so forth and so on. You're talking about percents and fractions. Do you understand the ideas? Okay? Ask tomorrow if you're not sure. Okay? All right, anyways, here we go. All right, so we have number 2. Here, number 2, sorry, I had to move my chair. Sorry for the sound there. Number 2, you have to read the directions, read the problem, see what it says. The cafeteria at Midtown Middle School surveyed 505 students about their favorite food. Find the number of students that responded for each of the following. Okay, so let's visualize this just before we even do anything else. All right, we're talking about number 2. We're talking about a school. Again, I'm just going to draw a big old bar. Or if you want to make it all pretty and think of it as a school, that's fine. You can make a little roof here in school. But let's just say, again, I'm going to decide this is Midtown Middle School. Just so you understand what's going on. It's always good to make a story. Middle school. All right. All right, we're talking about 575 students. That's all the students at the school. That would be 100% of everybody. If you have everybody at that school, it's 174%. Okay, the question is, or the problem is, it says, number 2, 20% of the people, if this is 20%, like salad. Okay, we have the percent, but we don't know the number. So what are we trying to figure out? We're trying to figure out 20% of this. Okay? 20% of 575. Okay. I'm going to change this to a fraction. I haven't done that in a while. I can simplify by a factor of 20. And I'm going to multiply it. And I'm going to multiply it. Now, you know what I'm going to do right now, right? I'm going to try and see if I can make equivalent fractions. So, 1/5 of, or 1/5, one other fraction that's equivalent to, the denominator will be 575 because that's 100%. Again, right? 20%, 20 to 100%, 20% to 100%, 20 to 100. This is the full set. You can even see in the picture. Okay. So we need to know, what am I going to write up here? How many students? Now let's think about what this means. For every 5 students, one person's going to like salad. For every 5 students, one person's going to like salad. But now we have 575 students. Now I can scale that up easily, but I'm going to have to do a little division. 575 broken up into groups of 5. How many groups does that give you? Another way to look at it, 5 times what gives you this. Now you know it's going to be division. I'll do the work real fast. Whew, okay. So I can make 112 groups of 5. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Well, guess what? That's the answer. Okay. 112 students like salad. All right. Number 4. Same idea. 24% of those 575 students like fruit. Okay, 24, 575. Same thing, same problem, same idea. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this into a decimal number. 24, take out the percent symbol, write a decimal point. 1, 2, 0.24 times 575. Okay, let me see. This has 3 digits. This has 2 non-zero digits. I don't count the 0 if it's the very front. You can if you want, but I just like saving time if I can. 4 times 5 is 20. Carry the 2. 4 times 7 is 28. Plus 2 is 30. 23. Excellent. All right. Place value. Hold on. I'm done with this place value, or this place value. Next one. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 7 is 14. Plus 1 is 15. Carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Again, if you have a calculator at home, you just want to use it, just go ahead. But I'm showing you the method anyways, in case you're curious. 8, 3, 1. I have 2 place values. 2, 1, 2. All right. The answer is 138 students. 138 students. Okay. And that's number 4. Okay. Number 6. Find the percent of each number. Can you see this? All right. 0.46% of 80. Okay, before I attack the numbers like I tell you guys don't do, let's think this through. This is less than 1%. Less than 1% is less than a penny. So for every penny, for every 100, I'm going to have a penny. I don't even have 100. So my answer is going to be something that's less than a penny. Okay? So the answer won't even be 1. It'll be less than 1. That could be wrong, but let's figure this out. Let's try it out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and change this to a decimal number. You're like, wait. Again, don't forget. If it has a percent symbol, it's a percent. It's not a decimal number. Okay. All right. Anyways, now I'm going to move. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So we have 0.0046. Whew. Again, let me count the digits. 2 digits, non-zero. Again, if there's zeros on the front, I kind of ignore them. Now, if I had this number here, a 1, I can't do that. I can't ignore the zeros. I have to include them. But it's just zeros, so I'm going to ignore them for just a moment. Okay? So 80 times, here we got to be very careful. I'm going to write it backwards, actually, because it's 1 digit per column. Remember that? 6400. It's a little sloppy, but I can work with this. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 8, 48. Okay, so far so good. Done with that place value. Go to the next one. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 8, 32. 0, 8, 6, 3. I'm just adding. All right, now how many place values am I talking about? Here's my decimal point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0. My answer is 0.3680. Now, if you have a calculator at home, by all means, use a calculator to verify this. Again, I'm not testing you on your ability to multiply. I'm testing you on whether or not you know how to use the skill of multiplication to figure out this answer. Okay? Anyways, so that's it for number 6. We were right with what we predicted. Number 8, we have 222% of 55. Again, let's just take a moment. Let's look at what we have. We want 55. Either we want a part of it or we want more of it. Part of it or more of it. If it was 100%, then we'd just have this equal. but we have more than 100%. That means we're going to have more than this. Okay? So just for the sake of argument, again, let's just so you can see what's going on. 100% plus 100% plus 22% gives you 222%. I hope you agree with that. Now, 100% would be 55, another 100% would be 55, and this 22% is a fifth of this, so I figure maybe 11. I could be wrong. Again, my math not so good sometimes. Oh, that's funny. I'm a math teacher, but I'm not perfect, people. All right, just a quick prediction. I could be wrong, but let's do the math. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Carry the 1. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. The answer may be about that, give or take. It's an estimate. Okay, but let's do the math just to verify. 222%. I'm going to take off the percent symbol, write a decimal number, move 2 spaces. Did I say spaces? 2 spaces to the left. So I have 2.22 of 55, which means multiplication. You're going to multiply. Whew, let's do the math. So we get a little hairy. All right, I have 3 non-zero digits. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put that on top. All right, 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the plus 1 is 11. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. Ugh, that's a tongue twister for me. That's done. Place value holder. And same thing. 0, 1, 1, 1. I'm just copying what I wrote on the top. There you go. 0, 1, 2, 2, 1. 2 place values, because there's a decimal point. I have a decimal number here. 1, 2. My answer is 122 and 1/10. I said the answer was going to be, hey, it wasn't that far off. Look at that. Okay. Again, this is why it's always good to predict. If you can kind of think about it first before you attack the answer, it'll make life easier at the end. All right, on to number 10. Again, it's a word problem. Think of it as a word story. How about that? Tori had $20 to buy a birthday present for her dad. She decided to buy a DVD for $18. The sales tax is $7. Does she have enough money to pay for this? Explain your reasoning. All right. Again, here's the deal. Let's think about this. We have. I'm assuming Tori is a girl because how do I know that? It says her, so her dad, Tori. And I'm sorry, it's not like all girls wear dresses, but just again, being as old as I am, we were taught that girls always wear dresses. So I'm sorry for that. Don't get lit or woke, whatever you guys use nowadays. I'm just an old guy trying to do math. And besides, I spelled Tori with a Y when it should be an I. So Tori, anyways, she has a $20 bill. $20. Again, I'm just making this up. It could be a bunch of ones, but again, I'm making this simple for me. $20 bill. She's going to buy a DVD that is $18. Okay. Again, looks like this. Again, I'm not an artist, whatever. You know, package, whatever. $18. Okay, so 18%. Telling you. $18. Okay. So what are we trying to figure out here? What am I drawing here? Let's say this is the DVD, okay? At 100%, full price, the DVD is $18. Okay, that should make sense, right? Everything. All right. Now here's the deal. 7% of this, you're gonna have to pay in taxes. All right. So there's a couple ways to look at this, and later on, after we're done with this, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But 7% of this is going to be taxes. Okay. Now, why does it matter? Anything you buy, you have to pay taxes on. That's just the way it is. Whether you like it or not, that's just, life. But anyways, 7% of 18. We figure out what the taxes are first. Okay. So actually, let me write what I just said. So when you buy something, it's price plus tax equals total. Okay? Just keep that in mind. That's just the way it works. When you go to the store next time, look at the receipt. It gives you a full price of everything you paid, how much it was. At the very bottom, it'll add the tax. Let's figure out the 7% of 18 first. Let's get that out of the way. All right. I'm going to go ahead and change this to a decimal number. There it is. 1, 2. All right. 0.07 times 18. I'll write it a little neater. 1 non-zero digits, so this goes in the bottom. Now, see, you know what I was going to do right now, right? I was going to write times 7. But let's be very careful. There's a 7, there's my 0, and another 0. Doesn't point right there. Now I can multiply, so that way I'm not missing anything. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. Okay, so I'm going to pay $1.26 in taxes. Remember what I said earlier? When you buy something? So the DVD is $18, the tax is $1.26. What's the total? I mean, I'm sure you can do that in your head too. $19.26. Does she have enough to buy the DVD? Yes. If she has 20, she has enough to pay for the DVD. Now, earlier I mentioned another way of looking at this. This might help. Okay? All right. I'm going to try it out. It might blow up in my face, and you might think, teacher, you don't know what you're doing. Let's find out, shall we? All right. It's going to start out the same way. By the way, that noise you hear is our neighbors cutting the grass. Or the gardener. Either the neighbors or the gardener. But someone's grass is getting cut. All right. 100% is full price. But you're adding 7% for taxes, so now it's 107%. This is what we don't know. So how much are you going to pay total? This could work. I'm hoping it works, but let's find out. $18 is 100%. The ratio. 18 to 100. What's the price at 107%? Okay. Now this is one of the situations where you do cross multiplication. 100 times the question mark. You know, let's just use a variable. Let me use the letter, not x, because you think I'm multiplying. Let's use the variable r. R. Like a pirate. R. $18 times 107. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a calculator myself, because really, if you can do it, why can't I? Alright, here's my trusty calculator. 18 times 107. Oh. See, even if you use a calculator, you can still get it wrong. 1926. So 100 R equals 1,926. Alright, so I want to find out what that price is. I'm going to divide by 100. Now, if you already know how to do this, good, you had a good 5th grade math teacher. So what's this divided by 100? The shortcut is, if you imagine we have a decimal point right there, right? We're dividing it by 100. All you're going to do, since we're dividing, we're going to move that decimal point to the left 2 spots. 2 zeros, 2 decimal place values. Why to the left? Because we want a smaller number. If I go to the right, we want to, you're going to get a larger number. And look at that, same thing. The total price is $19.26. Do we have enough money for the DVD? Yes, we do. Again, 2 ways of doing the same thing. It's up to you how you want to do this. Oh, we're not even done. Look at that. We still have to do number 12. All right, number 12. Thank you guys for hanging out. I know this video is taking a little long, but I want to review things as we go along that you might need to know. All right, number 12. What's that noise? What's that noise? It's my notes. Okay. We have a test, right? We have 68 correct. And we want to know the percentage. Again, let's look at the... We're trying to figure out what the percentage was, or is. This is our total. This is what we got right. That's our percentage. Okay. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and write this out. The way this works, we're trying to figure out the percent of a total. Gives us our number. You're like, what are you talking about? Okay. Let's think this through. I'm going to draw a little picture again. Okay. %100 is easy, right? Now, according to this, our total is, so out of 85 questions, that's 100%. We want to know if you only got 68 correct, what's the percentage? This is what we don't know. Okay. So how am I going to write this? You with me so far? All right. Some percentage of 85 is 68. I'm going to rewrite this a little bit. You might have seen this before. All right. To find the percentage, we're going to divide by 85. Don't worry, if this doesn't make sense to you, I'll show you another way too. So hang on, okay? 68 divided by 85. Out of 85, the total, this is the part, is 68. So we're trying to figure out the percentage. And again, just go ahead and use a calculator at this point. 68 divided by 85 is 0.8. But here's the deal. We want percentage, right? So what do we have to do if we want percentage? You move the decimal point to the right. 1, 2, there's my decimal point. %. That's where the 80% came from. Okay. All right, let's continue. This way, I took a long time to explain. I just want you to understand something. Let me review before I move on to show you the second way. 100% is when you have everything. According to what we saw, 85 points or 85 questions. No, 85 points, 85 correct, is the total. It goes with 100%. We know we got 68 of them correct. The question is, out of this 85, what's the percentage? Okay, some of you would probably see that this is a ratio. 68 to 85 is equal to something over 100. They do cross multiplication, but let's just, for a moment, I'm going to show you a different way. Okay? All right. Let's know, this is what we know. 85 per 100, right? You want a full score on the test, you need 85 points, right? I'm going this way. I'm comparing this to this, and we're going to go this to this, okay? It's equal to 68. This is what we don't know. I'm sorry. Okay. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. What are we going to do here? Remember what I told you before. when you have this situation, see if you can simplify. Don't just sit there and say, oh, I don't get it, I'm done. Oh. You're not done. You can keep going. You can always try and see if you can simplify. All right, I know I can simplify this by a factor of 5. And the answer of this will be 17 over 20. Okay. Okay. Can I scale up from 17 to 68? I know a lot of you are going to say no. Oh, you can't, you can't. You know what? By all means, number talks. Uh-oh. I noticed that this is half of that. So 34 is 68. Oh, wait a minute. So if I use 2 groups of 17 plus another 2 groups of 17, that's 4. So 17 times 4 is 68. 20 times 4 is 80. Okay, the missing number then is 80. 80%. Oh, sorry about that. There it is. Okay. Oof, a lot of work. Okay, the next part should be pretty basic, I guess. Oof, okay. Now we have to figure out the science. Okay, completing the table. We have 90%. We have the total. Here, let me show you what I'm looking at in case you're confused. %of something, 90% of 70 is what? And actually, if you think about it, I just kind of gave you the question. I set it up for you. But hey. 90% of 70 is what? Change it to decimal number. 1, 2, 0.9 times 70. 70 times 0.9, 63. That was easy. 63. Oof, a lot less. Look, guys, once you understand the basics, you don't have to go through all the steps. You just get to it. Okay. Anyways, and as you can see, then the class with the highest score that Marisol or Maribel got. No, it's Maribel. She got the higher score in science, and I guess we have to part C. Excuse me, I thought we were done with it. Sorry, that's my fault. Let's do C real fast. All right. Almost done, people. Hang on. All right, letter C. Suppose Marisol scored 96% on an English test. There were 50 questions on the test. How many did Marisol answer correctly? Okay. Well, okay then. 96% of 50. Any ideas? Let's just do this. Change the percentage to a decimal number, or take away the percentage symbol, right decimal point, move the decimal point 2 spots to the left. 1, 2. 0.96 times 50. And what is that? Okay. We're going to have to do the math. I'm trying to think if there's some shortcut, but nope. Sometimes you just got to do the math. 6 times 0, 6 times 5 is 30. 9 times 0, 0, 9 times 5, 45. 1, 2, 1, 2. 48 questions. Just out of curiosity, would this have made sense if I would have done the percentage as a fraction? You know what? We have time. Why not? Instead of 96%, let's say 96 per 100. Set it as an equivalent ratio to 50. Oh my goodness. Now see? If I divide this by 2, I get 50. That means if I divide this by 2, bam, same answer. 48 questions. I hope this helps. Again, for number 13, You know what? Let's just do this real fast. I want you to understand one simple idea for the table. Okay. For this whole idea, I want you to remember that one whole is 100%. Okay? And to show 100%, to show a whole, you need the numerator and denominator to be the same. 3 out of 3, 4 out of 4, it can be whatever you want. But the point is the denominator and numerator have to be the same. Okay. For a whole that's less than 100%. Okay, so less than 1. Less than 1, less than 1. How can I show this to you without really confusing you guys or confusing myself as I try to explain this to you? 25% less than 100%. 25% less than 1. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Again, one whole, 100%. One whole, numerator, denominator the same. For something to be less than 100%, when something is less than 100%, that's less than one whole. It could be any number from 0 to, and again, I'm just thinking about whole numbers if you want to think of it this way. Anything between 99.9999999, however you want, but as long as it doesn't get to 100. Okay? Any number in between that. Okay. Now, how are you going to show that? How are you going to show less than a whole for a fraction? This is where you have a proper fraction. Any proper fraction where the numerator is less than the denominator. Anything where the numerator is less than the denominator is less than 1, is less than a whole. Okay? And finally, more than 100%. If you have more than 100%, that's more than a whole, more than one whole. Okay. As a fraction, how you can show that? The denominator has to be larger, sorry, the numerator has to be larger than the denominator. Okay? It could be anything. Even something as extreme as, okay, that's more than 100%, that's more than a whole. Okay? And that's it for the extra practice.